Welcome to the program. Today we'll talk about what's going on in the markets. We'll get an update on earnings season both in the US and back home, and we'll go into detail about the Woolworths restructure. I'm Peter Switzer.
I'm Paul Rickard.
And we're mad about money. So for first question, markets continue to have a strong run. You know, the All Ords up to 5,600. A lot of data out this week. Big CPI number today. Your thoughts on what's happening at the moment?
Yeah, it looked like it's surprised me a little bit. I think a lot of the fund managers have missed this rally. Marty, we were just talking about pre-camera.
Off air.
Everyone's been bearish and they've got it wrong, and it's been an amazing trip since Brexit. But you know, I still probably feel there's time for a pullback, but let's just see where we head. CPI today, market expecting about 0.4. The obvious question is, if it's on the low side at that level, will that lead the Reserve Bank to cut cash rates on Tuesday?
Who meet next week?
Yeah, they meet on Tuesday. I mean, I sort of think the Reserve Bank wants to keep some powder dry, but they have this inflation target. And look, a 0.4% CPI will take the annual rate down to 1.1%. And the underlying rate to something like about 1.6%.
And the Reserve Bank do want inflation somewhere between 2 to 3%, so they're well below their band, so they've got the capacity to be able to cut. But on your point to Brexit, you know, the market's run incredibly hard since then. If you look at all the markets around the world, and you look at most asset classes around the world, everything's gone up since Brexit.
So we need another Brexit, right?
We need another Brexit.
That's the only conclusion.
Well, that could be Trump or Frexit.
That could be Trump or Frexit. Yeah, I think I've got to pay that. Look, CPI, big number today.
We've got BOJ are talking about stimulus later in the week, and we've got the Fed meeting as well. Other big events for investors.
The Fed tonight, you know, look, I think expectations the Fed won't do anything. BOJ maybe it won't get as aggressive, but look, it's central bank week, but all these things are going to keep the market on edge, and I think it starts 11:30 today with the CPI.
Moving on, next topic, Paul. Earnings season in the US well underway. Broadly positive at the moment. A good result from Apple last night.
Yeah, Apple's come in after Bell, but reported both top line sales and also earnings that have beat consensus. Look, the aftermarket's pretty thin, but it jumped something like 6% from $97.
The market was expecting possibly some weaker numbers for Apple in terms of where they were going to grow outside the iPhone.
That's right. The last iPhone they released in March has done better than expected. They've shipped more units in
6S, I think that would be.
Yeah.
You're a Samsung man.
I'm a Samsung guy, so I understand the Apple lingo, but it's something, I read about it this morning, but it's something, it shipped more units in June than it did the total shipments of iPhones in June were better than March. Still down on the 12 months before, so you compare this June quarter compared to June quarter in 2015, sales are still did be a bit lower, but better than market. Up 6% in the aftermarket to about $103 from about 97.
Strong Apples is good for.
Yeah, I mean, look, aftermarkets can be a bit misleading because you don't get all the big players there, and Apple's the biggest stock in the US markets, but that's a big jump, so that bodes well for a strong start to the US market.
Let's talk about local earnings season. So a couple of the LICs have reported now. Wilson reported well. AFIC reported mixed, but broadly in terms of the big players, what are you expecting for earnings season?
Yeah, look, I think it's probably going to look a little bit better. I mean, I think we're going to follow the US lead. So, I mean, the expectations have come down. They might be starting to creep up. Normally, you go through June, July, the confession season. That is, all the bad news comes out first. There hasn't been a lot of bad news, right?
Which could be a positive.
Which has got to be a positive. And just as we've seen from some of the CEOs who want to talk about their results, you've got a sense that it could be reasonably positive. That's my sense.
Moving on to bad news or possibly good news, Woolworths announced a big restructure. They basically said they're going to cut jobs, slow store growth, and sell assets. Is Woolworths time to buy yet?
No, I don't think so. In fact, I'll be writing about this. Look, I thought the reaction
You've been very bearish on Woolworths.
Well, I'm still bearish on Woolworths. I don't think it's in the buy territory just yet. I mean, okay, the market has been short Woolworths. You got some news on Monday.
It is up about 25% since.
Yeah, it jumped 8% on Monday, down 3.5% yesterday. I mean, look, everyone wants to buy Woolworths. This is the bottom. I don't think Woolworths has bottomed yet because I don't think they've yet said they've delivered any sales growth, right? And you've got to remember, there's a war going on, and they're losing the war to Aldi and Coles. The only thing positive I think you could take out of the numbers that they came out on Monday is they said that their transaction count and their item count were up. So that means customers are actually buying a little bit more than they were 3 months ago in terms of the number of units. What they didn't say was their sales are up, and that's because there's deflation occurring, right? And so until we get those the sales figures in August when the result comes out, I reckon you'll find they've been beaten for the 28th consecutive quarter by Coles. They've still got all the momentum. Aldi's still growing. supermarkets at Woolworths is still struggling. It's very hard to shrink your way to greatness.
You can't
right?
cost cut your way to greatness.
That's right. So these things are all good news, but look, I just don't think Woolworths. The reaction on Monday was a short covering rally. I think when the market over the next few days, few weeks, waits to the result at the end of August, I don't think you should be rushing into Woolworths just yet.
Be careful. That's all we've got time for. I'm Peter Switzer.
I'm Paul Rickard.
And we're
mad about money.